Cross your legs. Remove your glasses. Close your eyes. And just observe your easy, natural breath. Today, let's begin with a deep breath. Releasing anything that you're holding from the day, from the conversations, any residual energy that you may be holding on to. Relax your body, your back of your neck, your knees, your shoulders. Now gently just bring your awareness to your breath, breathing easy and normal. There is no visualization.
हर एक दिन प्रत्येक
There is no visualization. Just easy, normal, tranquil breath. Meditation is very, very, very easy. It is about just being with your breath. Easy, normal, tranquil breath, my friends. Just staying with your breath, air going in and air going out. Today is a very powerful day. We are in the energies of the full moon, beginning today, tomorrow and day after. We are exactly in the middle of this 40-day program, bringing the strong intention to be with our breath. Nothing else matters. Every time we come back to our breath, we rewire our brain. There is no doubt, there is no question. There is only you and your breath. Just gently stepping out from our ego the identities we hold for ourselves. From our left brain into the quantum realm, into the infinite source field, where anything is possible and everything is possible. Just being with our easy, natural, tranquil breath. Whatever is happening, let it happen. Bringing the focus from our surroundings, from the sounds, from the light. Just bringing it inwards to your breath. At this moment, nothing else exists, just you and your breath. Give me a sincere attempt today to be with your breath. the mind wanders, gently come back to your breath. With every breath, we meet ourselves fully, wholly, completely. There's nothing to change, there's no force. Just accepting whatever is happening within us, around us. Everything is happening exactly at the right time. Just being with our easy, natural, tranquil breath, my friends.
officially tight season.
Last 5 minutes being with your breath. Easy, normal, natural breath. Finish this 40 days strong. Whatever happens in life around us, when we love ourselves, we commit to our own word. Every single day we sit, we close our eyes, we observe our breath. As we feed our bodies, we feed our souls. To bring forth the highest version of ourselves at every point. Just being with our easy, natural, tranquil breath. Meditation is about meeting our true self. The truth itself. One breath at a time. last 1 minute, being with our easy, natural, tranquil breath, sealing in the intention of taking ourselves seriously, taking this breath seriously. Everything we put in our body creates our frequency. Treating our bodies as temples and being mindful about what we nourish our body with. The food, the pictures that we see, the sound, the words. Last 10 seconds. Slowly bring your hands together, place them on your eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As you remove your hands, gently open your eyes. Welcome everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for this beautiful meditation today. Today is day 23, Reinvent Yourself. And we've like over halfway now. And this is the time where I really want you to stay strong, stick to the program, stick to the group. We will finish this strong. We will have this habit of meditation imprinted after the 40 days. So stay with us. And today we have the topic plant-based living. This is one of the very important topic for PSSM, for becoming a pyramid master, and also for what we are doing, for having any kind of benefit, to see it completely. Our food is very essential. What we put in our bodies, if they are vehicles, if we put the wrong fuel, the body is not going to work long last. So the right fuel is important. You can't put petrol in a diesel car or a diesel in a petrol car. You have to put the right fuel. The highest grade fuel you put, the more the efficient the bodies will be. And this has been the message since the beginning of time of this movement, is to be conscious about what you are eating, be conscious about how you're cooking. In fact, it goes much further about what you're eating, how you're cooking, with what energy are you putting into it. But today we have a very special guest here with us, Lucy from California, who is joining us today. Lucy, welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Reinvent Yourself. I would like to first just give a brief introduction, and then I will let Lucy take over the stage. Lucy is a plant-based vitality and longevity wellness coach. So today we have her to share the wisdom and also ask any questions you guys have. She studied business administration and earned an MBA, built a career in global sourcing and supply chain management. She was born in Albania, grew up in Michigan. Wow. And now living in California, very close to where I live. So I'm super happy that she's right around the corner. Welcome, Lucy. Thank you for accepting our offer to join us today here.
Of course.
And I will let you take over the space and share with us. I'm going to remove myself.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen here. All right. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm very excited to be here and talk to you about my favorite topic. Let's see. It doesn't go to the next slide when it's in presentation mode. Okay. All right. So you heard a little bit about me. I'll jump into some of my hobbies. I like to play volleyball, pickleball. I like bike riding, hiking, taking fitness classes, brunch with friends, the beach, sunshine, all the fun things. Now, I'd like to share with you how I discovered my true passion in health and wellness. So early on, I enjoyed helping friends and family with natural remedies. Every time somebody needed help or they had gone to the doctor and there was something wrong with them. And then about 8 years ago, when a family member was diagnosed with a life-threatening disease, I dedicated myself to researching lifestyle changes so they could heal and overcome that ugly diagnosis. So I learned a lot during that time. And then 5 years ago, when the pandemic was here, I made the decision for myself to go fully plant-based and apply everything that I've learned over the years. I became certified in plant-based nutrition from the T. Colin Campbell Institute at Cornell University. And now I am dedicated to empowering people through plant-based holistic vitality and lifestyle coaching. So what is the healthiest diet? The healthiest diet is a whole food plant-based diet known as WFPB. I like to call it a lifestyle because I feel like a diet is temporary. It has an end date. A lifestyle is a way of living. And since I made the decision during the pandemic to go plant-based, I don't plan on changing. The more and more I learn about it, the more research comes out, the more I know I've made the right decision, and I want to teach others the things that I know as well. So what does it mean? What does it include? It means to eat whole foods. That's fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, nuts, and seeds. The meals are centered around plants, not animal products. It also avoids processed sugars, white flour, and packaged snacks. It does limit the amount of salt and fats for optimal health. So the benefits of this type of diet or lifestyle is that it supports longevity, vitality, and disease prevention. So what are whole plants? As we said, vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, nuts, and seeds. Now, to differentiate what are animal foods, those are dairy, eggs, fish, seafood, and meat. So why whole plant foods? Because they're packed with fiber, and that's beneficial for our gut bacteria. They're rich in water for cellular hydration. They're loaded with phytochemicals. They're naturally low in calorie density, which supports metabolic balance, and they're free of cholesterol and excess saturated fat. And you've all heard eat the rainbow. Why should we eat the rainbow? Why does the color diversity matter? That's because a variety of plants provide unique vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients. They're all rich in fiber. They provide protective compounds. So those antioxidants and the phytochemicals work together to reduce inflammation and disease risk. And then it's just the balanced nutrition. That's how you get the protein, the healthy fats, and the complex carbs from the diverse sources. So as a result, a variety of meals It makes it exciting, flavorful, and sustainable long-term. So some of the key benefits of a whole food plant-based lifestyle is that it helps with heart health. It reduces cholesterol because plants are naturally cholesterol-free food. It lowers blood pressure and the risk of cardiovascular disease. It minimizes saturated fat intake, protecting arteries. In addition to heart health, it also prevents other disease such as risk to diabetes, certain cancers, and obesity. That's because plants are rich in antioxidants and phytochemicals that fight inflammation. It does help to maintain the weight, the ideal weight. It provides more energy. These plants are nutrient dense, and they provide all the vitamins, minerals, and essential nutrients that we need. And then for sustainability, environmentally, plants are friendly, they reduce the ecological footprint, and they support long-term health for both the people and the planet. So it's not just physical benefits that we get from a whole food plant-based lifestyle. It's a transformation beyond that. We get mental clarity, sustained energy throughout the day, emotional resilience, and reduced mood swings. A lot of people say they have radiant skin once they transfer into a plant-based diet, and improved digestion. It supports deeper sleep and hormonal balance, and there is a sense of alignment with nature and purpose. My favorite quote, "Let food be thy medicine," by Hippocrates. So let's talk a little bit about animal versus plant nutrition. Here's a table that shows us that animal-based foods have cholesterol and none of the plants do. The animal-based foods have a lot more fat. It's very low for plant-based foods. When it comes to protein, the thing that a lot of people are concerned with, we get about the same from plants. But plants also come with a number of other nutrients. Look at how much vitamin C, folate, vitamin E, iron. Look at all the magnesium we get from plants. And we get fiber. We get zero from animal-based foods. This chart was taken from the China study. I mentioned earlier the T. Colin Campbell Institute, where my certification is from. Dr. Campbell and his son wrote this book back in 2004, and it's still one of the most important books about diet and health ever written, because it examines the connection between nutrition and heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. So I highly recommend this, the China study. And I actually know people that once they've read the China study, they've gone plant-based. That's how powerful it is. Now let's talk about fiber. There is a fiber deficiency in America. Over 90% of adults don't meet the daily fiber recommendation, which is 25 to 38 grams a day. And the average intake is about 16 grams a day. So fiber is seen as a nutrient of public health concern. And that's because it's linked to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, certain cancers, obesity, and metabolic syndrome. Plant-based diets naturally provide fiber through fruits, vegetables, legumes, and whole grains. Now I've got a quiz for you. What percentage of people worldwide do you think are fiber deficient? We said in America it's 90%. What do you think it is worldwide? Any guesses? See, so worldwide, it's 80%. Over 80% of people are fiber deficient. So that's fewer than 1 in 5 meet daily needs. So this is a global crisis, not just in America. So we're not eating enough plants. Another quote here, a good diet is the most powerful weapon we have against disease and sickness. So what's holding us back, knowing that the healthiest diet is a whole food plant-based diet? Why aren't we doing it? Why aren't we eating whole food plant-based? If you're a carnivore, you're probably afraid that you are going to lose strength or you're not getting enough protein. If you're a pescatarian, you're probably concerned with missing omega-3s. If you are vegetarian, you're probably addicted to cheese and cannot give up eggs or butter. And then if you are plant-based, maybe you're still fearful that you're not getting enough nutrients. So in the next few slides, we'll go through all these items and hopefully, talk about any concerns that any of you might have. So let's talk about protein. A lot of the things that we've been told about protein are not true. We've been told that you need animal protein products to get enough protein. And the truth is that whole plant foods, like fruits, vegetables, legumes, grains, nuts, and seeds, provide all the essential amino acids. We're told that more protein equals better health. However, the truth is that excess protein, especially animal-based protein, is linked to kidney strain, inflammation, and disease. We're told that plant protein is incomplete. The truth is that a variety of plant foods easily meet the amino acids needed. We're told that protein deficiency is common. This is actually extremely rare in developed countries. More people get more than they need. Even plant-based people get more protein than they need. Remember, we're deficient in fiber, not protein. And then we've been told that athletes can thrive on plant protein. The truth is that many elite athletes thrive on plant-based diets. World-class athletes thrive on plants, breaking records in strength, speed, and endurance. And there is a documentary, The Game Changers, that covers all of this. These athletes go plant-based at the end of their careers, in their 40s, and all of a sudden they start breaking records. So that I highly recommend watching this documentary, The Game Changers. So what is the problem with animal protein? How can it harm our health? That's because it puts heart disease at risk by raising cholesterol and the saturated fat intake that contributes to clogged arteries. It promotes cancer, especially certain animal proteins such as casein found in milk and dairy. Those have been linked to tumor growth in lab studies. Kidney strain. As we mentioned, excess animal protein can overwork kidneys and increase the kidney stones, the risk for kidney stones. Inflammation. High animal protein is associated with inflammation in the body. And then shortened lifespan. Diets rich in animal protein are unfortunately linked to a higher risk of early death compared to plant-based diets. And then there is that nutrient gap that we mentioned. Animal protein lacks fiber and many of the other phytonutrients. One other thing that I'd like to mention is that not only does meat harm our bodies, but it carries the imprint of suffering. When animals face slaughter, their bodies flood with stress hormones. Those compounds don't disappear. They become part of what we consume. And then I've included here an image that makes me laugh. We've got a little squirrel asking this big, strong animal, no meat at all? Are you sure you're getting enough protein? So I've got a couple quotes from Dr. John McDougall regarding the dangers of animal protein. High protein diets make you sick in the long and short term. Expect kidney disease, heart disease, and more strokes and cancer. The rich Western diet is full of fat, sugar, cholesterol, salt, animal protein, all the wrong foods for people. Dr. McDougall wrote the book, The Healthiest Diet on the Planet. He passed away last year. However, he was one of the pioneers of the plant-based movement, and his work continues to inspire this movement today worldwide. But he is known for talking about the low-fat, whole food, starch-based vegan diets and how dangerous the animal protein diets are. So we'll continue with taking a deeper look. Why aren't enough people talking about how dangerous animal protein is? Why have we been conditioned to believe that it's essential? So there is this protein law that was created by industry influence and cultural conditioning, not scientific proof. Science has never directly observed protein performing the roles it's credited inside the body. What's really interesting is the human breast milk contains very little protein, shown it's not the body's foundational nutrient. Hospitals are filled with chronically ill patients who consume plenty of protein throughout their lives. So there are so many issues with proteins that are not being addressed. I think we need to reframe the narrative. Instead of asking, am I getting enough protein? The better question should be, is my body getting the fuel it needs to heal, energize, and thrive? We'll move on to calcium. So there are a lot of myths when it comes to calcium too. We are told to believe that dairy is the only reliable source of calcium. However, the truth is that leafy greens, beans, tofu, nuts, and fortified plant milks are excellent sources. We're told to believe that plant-based diets cause calcium deficiency. However, a variety of whole food plant-based diet provides sufficient calcium when whole foods are emphasized. We believe that more calcium equals stronger bones. However, bone health depends on multiple factors, such as vitamin D, magnesium, potassium, exercise, and minimizing excess and animal protein and salt. And then we're told that dairy prevents osteoporosis. But the truth is that populations with the highest dairy intake often have higher rates of osteoporosis and fractures. For example, population in Scandinavia and the US, where dairy intake is high, also report higher fracture rates. This is a plant-based milk that I've made but with the Nutter machine. I believe the Nutter machine might have been one of the first ones out there in the market. Now there are a number of little machines that you add nuts and water or oats, whatever kind of milk you want. In 5 minutes, you have milk. If you don't have a machine for that, you can use a blender. You just have to strain it, but you can easily make any plant-based milk at home with just 2 ingredients. The nuts, if you want nut milk, and water. That's all. So here's an example of how much calcium there is in plants, in kale, in broccoli, even oranges have calcium. And then look at the almond milk. It has the same amount as the cow milk. However, the cow milk comes with cholesterol and saturated fat that, as we saw, put you at risk for a number of diseases. And then other animal-based foods, such as eggs and steak, have very low calcium. And this chart is from Dr. Joel Fuhrman's book, Eat to Live, and emphasizes that calcium is found in all plant-based foods. He calls it the nutritarian diet and focuses on or highlights the leafy greens, legumes, nuts and seeds, and fortified plants as excellent sources of calcium. All right, now we're moving on to B12. There are also a lot of myths about B12. So we're told that vegans cannot get enough B12 from unwashed vegetables or soil residue. The truth is that even though soil bacteria may contain some B12, the way we sanitize our produce now, that makes it unreliable. So we're barely getting any B12 from the soil directly. We're told that fermented foods such as spirulina or seaweed are reliable B12 sources. They contain B12, however, it's in an inactive form that does not meet our needs. We're told that vegans are just deficient in B12, but with fortified foods such as plant milks and cereals and other supplements, vegans can meet needs as effectively as omnivores. We're told that B12 supplements are unnatural. The interesting thing is that even farm animals are often supplemented with B12. And then we're told that you only need B12 occasionally. However, regular intake is essential for red blood cell formation and neurological health. The truth is that B12 deficiency is universal, whether you are a carnivore, omnivore, or vegan / plant-based. Everybody is deficient in B12. We're not able to get the B12 as it was once, consumed through the soil. Vitamin C. We're told that you can't get enough vitamin C without supplements. However, plant foods are the richest sources of vitamin C, delivering it in its most bioavailable form. We're told that animal products are necessary for vitamin C. The truth is that vitamin C is found exclusively in plants, and meat and dairy contain none. We're told that only citrus fruit contains vitamin C. But the truth is that bell peppers, broccoli, kiwi, strawberries, and leafy greens are all excellent sources. We're told that vitamin C supplements are always superior to food. The truth is that whole foods provide nutrients and antioxidants beyond vitamin C alone. And then we're told that cooking destroys all vitamin C. Now, some loss does occur, but steaming or just slightly steaming preserves much of it. Iron. We're told that only red meat provides enough iron. The truth is that lentils, beans, tofu, spinach, and pumpkin seeds are all excellent plant sources. We're told that plant-based iron isn't absorbed well. However, vitamin C from citrus, peppers, broccoli boost absorption of non-heme iron significantly. We're told that vegans are always iron deficient. Studies show that well-planned plant-based diets can meet iron needs as effectively as omnivorous diets. We're told that cooking destroys iron in food. The fact is that iron is a mineral. It remains stable during cooking. Then we're told that supplements are always necessary. When it comes to iron, most people can meet needs through diet. Supplements are for diagnosed deficiencies only. And here's another image that I love. The oldest animal, the strongest animal, the largest animal are all fueled by plants. Do you think they're all deficient in iron, in vitamin C, in calcium, in protein? They don't look like they are. Another one, omega-3s. So the mainstream view is that fish oil is often promoted as heart and brain health, but there are concerns with fish oil. Fish oil, cod liver oil, krill oil are discouraged due to heavy metals like mercury and toxins. Even small fish, which was deemed as safer, like sardines, are now considered to be a problem for the liver, despite lower mercury levels. So what are some of the plant-based sources that provide those omega-3s? Flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, walnuts, and leafy greens. These foods are considered safe, clean, and supportive of healing. So it's best to rely on whole foods rather than processed oils or animal sources. So what is the risk with the carnivore diet? The risk is that there is zero fiber intake, and this increases inflammation. There is elevated saturated fat and cholesterol, which is linked to disease. There is also breast cancer risk. High red and processed meat intake is associated with increased cancer risk because it lacks the protective plant compounds. There is concerns about dementia due to the low intake of antioxidants and phytonutrients. And then there are those nutrient deficiencies that we talked about, such as missing vitamin C, folate, potassium, and other minerals and vitamins. And there is no long-term safety data out there. However, with what we have, science has enough evidence to warn us of the serious risks. I wanted to talk about cheese because it's known as the dairy crack. A lot of vegetarians that I know do not become vegan or plant-based because they cannot give up cheese. Dr. Neil Bernard calls cheese dairy crack because of its addictive properties. Cheese contains casomorphins, which binds it to the same brain receptors as opioids. Each bite triggers a dopamine release, reinforcing cravings. But cheese is the #1 source of saturated fat in the American diet, and that's linked to heart disease. It's also high in calories and salt, which contributes to obesity, hypertension, and chronic illness. And Dr. Bernard wrote The Cheese Trap, exposing the health and addiction risks of dairy. So why doesn't the public know the truth about the dangers of animal protein, animal food, the byproducts of animals? There is limited awareness because most medical professions aren't trained in nutrition for disease prevention. And then there is the food industry influence, which often sides with the government. So there is that government alignment. And then there is the pharma dominance. Drug companies control most medical research out there. There are genetic myths. People are led to believe disease is mostly genetic, so it's just bad luck. And then there is profit over prevention. There is very little financial incentive to promote a lifestyle-based prevention. Since we talked about genes, I wanted to include this in here. This is Dr. Greger, who I met last year. He gave a presentation at University of California, San Diego. And he says, our genes load the gun, but lifestyle pulls the trigger. So genes are not the destiny. Most chronic diseases are not pre-programmed into our DNA. Instead, it's our daily food choices and lifestyle habits that account for the majority of the risk. Family patterns are dietary, not genetic. So the primary reason diseases tend to run in the families may be that bad diets tend to run in the families. Diet outweighs genetics. Diet is the #1 cause of premature death and disability in the United States, surpassing genetic predisposition. Preventable deaths Dr. Greger stresses that most deaths are preventable through nutrition, particularly through whole food, plant-based eating. And Dr. Greger has the book, How Not to Die. That's also a great book. Everything in food works together to create health or disease. So at the end of the day is our choice. Why plant-based eating supports natural weight loss? Dr. McDougall said, the fat you eat is the fat you wear. Excess dietary fat is stored directly as body fat. Protein and carbs can convert to fat but require energy to do so. Remember, all animal food has saturated fat, has high fat. Vegans have 11% higher metabolism. No calorie counting is needed. Weight loss happens naturally. It's best to keep dietary fat around 10% for optimal results. And an interesting fact is that the body mass index for vegans or plant-based eaters is lower than meat eaters. I actually just calculated this the other day when I was putting this presentation together, and mine is under 20. So, and that's ideal for a plant-based diet. Why supplements are needed today? So we've got modern soil, modern problems, and we need modern solutions. So we got soil depletion. Modern farming practices strip the soil of all the essential nutrients. So we don't get the magnesium, selenium, zinc, and iodine anymore from the foods or in the quantity that we used to. Industrial agriculture, monocropping, pesticides, and chemical fertilizers reduce the nutrient diversity in crops. So now we're presented with lower nutrient density, fewer vitamins and minerals than 10 years ago. So there is a critical gap. Nutrients like B12, vitamin D, iodine, and omega-3 are harder to obtain consistently from food alone. So we need supplements as insurance to bridge that gap between what food provides and what our body needs. Plant-based diets thrive with strategic supplementation. Deficiencies are prevented this way. So supplements are not just for the sick, they are for anyone who wants to protect their health, strengthen their immune system, and stay ahead of the curve. The right supplements, that is. And here I'm sharing the supplements I take daily. B12, liquid zinc, lemon balm. I take a total immune blend of zinc, thyme, and mullein, and micro C capsules. I wanted to share with you that when I decided to go plant-based when the pandemic started, I also did a lot of research on the best supplements out there. And there were two brands that I felt like they had the quality supplements that I was looking for. And one of them was the one featured here, Vimergy. And the other one is Pure Encapsulations. And now I'm happy to say that I work with both brands. It's a dream come true because I did spend a lot of money buying supplements, not just for myself, but for my parents and my family as well during the pandemic and afterwards. So this continues. These are some of the other supplements that I take on a daily basis: magnesium glycinate, lysine, and curcumin. The other brand, Vimergy, has these as well. I interchange between the two because to me, both supplement companies provide quality supplements. And what I look for is no additives, no fillers. They include vegan ingredients and no gelatin, dairy, soy protein isolates. And a lot of supplements out there also include alcohol and they're not required to actually declare it. Good nutrition creates health in all areas of our existence. I get asked a lot what I eat on a daily basis. My Monday through Friday is a little different from the weekend because I'm going to be realistic. There are events on the weekends, there's brunches and dinners. So the way I eat changes a little bit. But Monday through Friday, I'm in control of what goes into my body. And it's exactly how I want my routine to be. So every morning is what's considered a morning cleanse. So fat-free start. I start with lemon water on an empty stomach, and then I follow by celery juice. About 30 minutes after that, it's a heavy metal detox smoothie, which it includes wild blueberries, cilantro, spirulina, barley grass juice powder, dulse, banana, and orange. So it gives my liver a chance to cleanse without any fat. If I'm hungry, I will snack on fruit, any kind of fruit, really, and I will drink coconut water. And then lunch is usually a big salad with leafy greens and any vegetables that I have available. I like and try to include herbs as well, parsley, cilantro, or anything else that's available. And then in the afternoon, I'll snack on fruit, herbal tea. Lemon balm is my go-to. It really calms the nervous system, especially if you are in a stressful environment, a stressful job. It has a calming effect. Dinner is usually steamed or roasted vegetables, some grains, maybe brown rice, quinoa, and then maybe a healing broth soup. So the purpose of this Monday through Friday routine that I have is for daily cleansing, to nourish and heal, to prevent disease, to restore the liver, to rebuild immunity, to support emotional balance, and promote vitality and longevity. And here's an example of what my groceries look like. And then a salad, an herb salad that I love making, and it tastes so good. And the dressing in it is usually lemon juice and orange juice. Don't need anything else. So I'm calling this the meditation menu, healing foods for inner calm. So fruits, vegetables, herbs, and wild foods don't just heal the body, they clear the mind for deeper meditation. Celery juice. Celery juice isn't just hydration. It calms the vagus nerve and helps the body settle into stillness. Wild blueberries. Wild blueberries strengthen resilience and ground your spirit. They're the perfect fuel for deep meditation. Apples help release emotional burdens and bring clarity. A simple bite can lighten the mind. Cilantro clears toxins that cloud focus. Fresh herbs equal fresh perspective. Ginger tea warms the body and sharpens focus. Sit before meditation for gentle energy. Meditation isn't just about sitting still. It's about what you feed your soul. So these are foods that I highly recommend. These are healing foods, not just for the body, for the mind as well. And here is a picture of what my plant-based fridge looks like. Always lots of herbs on there, the celery juice, the lemons, and so the daily produce that's consumed. So true health begins with nutrition. That's the foundation. It's the fruits, it's the vegetables, the leafy greens, the herbs, the wild foods. And then yes, the cleansing, the daily cleansing, or maybe a seasonal cleansing. But when we talk about health, we have to mention the other pillars of wellness, because if you are focused only on nutrition and missing out on the other aspects, you're probably not as healthy as you want to be. So the other pillars of wellness are rest and sleep, stress management, movement, sunlight and fresh air, connection and community, and spiritual alignment. So these are all very important. I get asked a lot about books and recipes that I recommend. My favorite current book, which was published last month, is the Life Changing Foods Expanded Edition by Medical Medium. Not only does it have incredible information on plant-based food, but it also includes recipes, and it has a spiritual aspect of what every fruit, every vegetable, every wild food, every herb does to us when we consume it. Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease from Dr. Esselstyn is another book with great recipes. I mentioned Eat to Live earlier, and I also mentioned How Not to Die. So these are all great books. I think it's important to mention documentaries as well. I know a lot of people that have watched one documentary and all of a sudden they become vegan. They might become vegan for the animals because they see how the animals are slaughtered and tortured. There are also other documentaries that focus on the health aspect of it, but these are a number of documentaries of what they're focused on and where you can find them. My favorite two that I always recommend to everyone is The Game Changers. This was produced, and also the star of the show, because it's a true story, is a friend of mine. However, this was my favorite documentary before I even met the producer. I mentioned earlier the elite athletes, and they are included in this documentary, how they perform much better once they go plant-based, even later in life. And then Seaspiracy is a great documentary that shows us what we are doing to our bodies and the earth if we keep fishing and eating fish, eating seafood. So with all that information, how can I help you thrive? Go back one. I provide plant-based nutrition coaching. I can help you transition into a plant-based diet, and I also can help optimize your diet for vitality and longevity. I can provide tools for balance, energy, and longevity rooted in nature-based practices. Starting next month, I'll be providing one-on-one coaching and group programs that will be personalized, that will include personalized support. I currently have ebooks and guides. I'm working on many more, which will be launched in the next few weeks, regarding plants, plant-based living, weight loss, cleansing, and much more. And then collaborations and gift guides, the curated wellness products. I shared with you the supplements that the supplement brands that I've partnered with. And I also, I get a lot of inquiries about partnering up with a lot of brands there, especially new brands. And I'm very careful. If I wouldn't take something myself, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody else. And I'm very careful as what I put in my body. Currently, the main social media platform for me is my Instagram. This is where I post a lot of my content. It's not just focused on health and nutrition. I also include some of my trips and fun things that I do, because I want to show people that being healthy, you don't have to restrain your lifestyle. You don't have to limit. You can live a pretty fun life, enjoy life, and be healthy, eat the best you can, live your best life. Here there is a link, and the link includes some of the direct links to some of the products that I use on a daily basis and some of those supplements. And then there is a freebie regarding celery juice. It includes the benefits, the main benefits of why I drink celery juice every day and why I recommend it to everyone. So if you'd like to reach out to me, you can directly reach out to me via email. It's lucykLifestyle@gmail.com. You can follow on Instagram for plant-based inspiration and holistic tips. And then the website, lucykLifestyle.com, is under construction at the moment, but it will be ready in a few weeks. So yeah, I I hope this was interesting to you all and I didn't bore you too much.
This
So thank you
was
for showing
great.
up for yourself today, and let's keep thriving together.
This was great, Lucy. Let's give a big round of applause to Lucy here today for this beautiful presentation that she put this up for us. Thank you, Lucy. This was extensive and a lot of doubts were cleared, especially regarding the vitamins, the proteins, the B12. These are like every time we talk about it, this is the first question we get is, okay, how does this work? So that was very, very enlightening. And the China study is something that is every person should know. And I know that when I was in DC, every year they have actually a physicians conference to share the information to physicians about plant-based living.
Hmm.
And not all doctors, I mean, of course we know not everybody knows that this. I remember once when I had gestational diabetes, and my thyroid was not functioning. When I got pregnant, I went to the doctor, and the doctor was first thing saying that get on a vegan diet, because I was already a vegetarian. And she was like, just remove your milk, anything with dairy, and you see the difference.
Yeah.
And in 3 months my thyroid was gone. So that was pretty amazing on how these just the diet, and especially as you said, it's a lifestyle shift, and how it absolutely shifts everything for us. So thank you so much, Lucy, for sharing this.
Yeah, my pleasure. I tried to capture all the questions that I've received over the years.
Absolutely. Shashi ma'am, would you like to say something? Add something?
You're on mute.
Okay. Thank you, Lucy, ma'am. It's such a wonderful topic and a beautiful presentation. And I really enjoyed your session today. Thank you so much. And as I'm actually vegetarian, and so many things, I'm vegetarian, but so many things I do not know. But today, when I watched your presentation, it is very crystal clear, even though about vitamins and everything. So I will I will say this is a beautiful presentation for everyone, and lots of wisdom and knowledge. Thank you so much for sharing this one.
My pleasure.
I just wanted to share, like, this is the book that I've read as well, and had followed the cleanse. It's amazing, guys. This cleanse, I think we all must do every one, every now and then. And one thing that I've been thinking about is doing a program to do a cleanse together. So if any of you guys are interested to do it with us, let us know, and send us your names. We'll do it together, because this is something that I don't like to do alone. Anytime I want to do, I just do a program together. So,
Wow.
and the other books that I love, I was just sharing. This is Conscious Eating by Gabriel Cousins. And he actually gave us a presentation. And that presentation, by the way, guys, that video we have uploaded on school platform. So you can go and check it out. Gabriel Cousins, a whole book written on conscious eating. I love this book. This is again another great book on what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat. Everything is here. And another book I also love, the Detox Miracle Source Cookbook by Dr. Morse. This is another book that I love. And these are like, I mean, once you get into this topic, you will replace all vitamins, you'll replace your whole refrigerator, you'll go crazy in doing so, because that's what I do. Once the moment I listen to all of this, I have all the, by the way, I have vitamins, I have lysine that you have mentioned. I take that every day. So vitamins are something, a very core part of my routine as well. And making sure having the right microbiomes, gut health, and all so forth. So thank you, Lucy. So wonderful. I would now open up if anybody would like to share. By the way, before we open up the floor, I would like to share a video of the work that has been happening in the through this moment. Let me see how I can open up that link. And then once we are with that, let's if you have any questions, you are happy to stay back and ask Lucy. Let me share the screen.
Let's make one thing clear. This isn't about trends. This isn't about guilt. This isn't about interference. When you harm a being with a physical heart, you're not just ending a life. You're messing with consciousness. And Earth, she feels it. Every heart, human or animal, emits an electromagnetic field. It's not woo-woo, it's physics. You kill a being with a heart, you shock the field. You alter the grid of Earth's energy. We're all plugged in, whether we like it or not. The China study showed it. Massive correlation between animal products and chronic disease, cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and then came the game changers, elite athletes, soldiers, CEOs, all switching to plant-based living, not for religion, for power, for clarity, for vibration. Want longevity? Look at the blue zones, the longest living humans on Earth. Okinawa, Sardinia, Loma Linda, all thriving on plants. No pills, no meat, just simplicity and peace. You don't need to be a saint. You just need to stop interfering. PSSM has been on this path since 1990. We don't just talk about spirituality, we live it. Across India, every day, rallies happen to awaken awareness. And now, it's gone global. UK, Germany, USA. No protest, just presence, just a message. Live and let live. Just leave the gods of animal kingdom alone.
Afternoon, if I eat non-vegetarian meal, that afternoon was low performance. I used to feel sleepy and couldn't work almost. So when I eat a vegetarian meal, I was very healthy, very light, and my sensitive levels of understanding my body, and I'm light and I'm able to work better. Rather than stopping suddenly, I decided to let's do this way. 3 months vegetarian, 3 months non-vegetarian. Likewise, I experimented. After the first year, I did 6 months. Then later on, I don't have any cravings I'm very happy with the vegetarian.
The first thing what I've noticed in my body when I've given up meat eating was like there was a certain level of focus, a calm mind, mental clarity I could say, and the aggression got subsided. I've been a non-vegetarian and I've turned into vegetarian, I could say actually.
It really took a series of paranormal activities for me to realize that I was doing something extremely wrong in my life, that I was consuming beating hearts, though I was not big on consuming non-veg, but I was. And 2012 came as a reckoning for me. One beautiful Master Hanuman to appear in my dreams in one night. I don't know even if it was a dream or it was like, something real happening at that point in time. And he said, Radhika, enough. Your soul cannot take it anymore. It is dying from within. Whatever experience you had to take, you've taken. You will get to know what and why it happened, but now stop. Next day I switched. I was like, I'm done. And in 2015, Patriji happened, PSSM happened, and then I really got to know why I had all of those experiences. And today I'm just here to share with you that please, please, please become more conscious. It is our time to move from unconscious to the conscious, to switch to plant-based lifestyle completely, so that we don't only, increase the vibrations of the Mother Earth as those, all the energies are shifting, the planetary movements are happening, but also raise our own vibration.
This is not a diet. This is not a cult. This is an evolution of being. PSSM teaches first a vegetarian, then a vegan, a fruitarian. Eventually, you become light, not metaphorically, energetically. And yeah, it's real. This isn't about being perfect. It's about not being a parasite. Every soul on earth has a free will. So stop eating someone else's will to live. This is about alignment with truth, with peace, with your own damn frequency.
Buddy, you are in mute.
Okay, thank you. I see Kiran has raised her hand. I'll bring her on. Welcome.
Yeah, sorry about that. Hi, buddy. After a very long time, it's lovely to see you again. And Lucy, that was so amazing what you talked about. You totally speaking on my wavelength on a lot of these things. I truly, like yourself, believe that everything starts from the food we eat. And it was really nice. I just had a couple of questions, if you're okay. What's the name of the milk making machine that you recommended?
So I don't specifically recommend that one. That was my first one, Nutter. I've
Okay.
had issues with that one.
Okay,
So,
okay.
yeah, Nutter machine, N-U-T-R. There are, I think that might have been one of the first ones to come out, but there are a number that are out. I think the last one I worked with was Kenke. It's on, let me see, it's in the links that I actually showed. That's bigger. It has
Okay,
worked
that's
well
fine.
so far. I'll just in a second here. Oh, I've removed it. Okay, but I believe it's
That's okay.
Kenke.
Okay, I'll look that up. And then you didn't mention olive oil. Is there a reason?
Yeah, I used to use olive oil a lot, and then I learned a lot more about the liver and cleansing, and I'm trying to keep fats low when I can, right? The Monday through Friday that I can control myself. So I realized that putting lemon juice and orange juice on a salad it tasted so good. There was no need for olive oil anymore. So that's why I've tried to stay away a little bit.
Because they say that you do need fats just as much as other things. Like your brain is a lot of 70% or something is fat, I think, or whatever. And so I was just wondering then, what would you on a vegan diet recommend instead?
Yeah. So there is a trend now with the olive oil. People are drinking olive oil, and that's not good.
Ooh,
That's a big
I don't
trend
think I'll
right now.
do
That's
that.
first thing in the morning. That's what they consume. They drink olive oil. I think later in the day, it's okay to add olive oil to a salad or, over vegetables. It's okay, but it's still fat. So we're for optimal health, for the ideal, eating, we should keep fats down.
Okay, that's interesting. And then just very quickly, for vegans, they do have omega-3s that are from algae, sourced from algae. But then they say it's not bioavailable with the EPA and the DHA. So I was just wondering whether you would recommend vegetarian algae capsules or just stick to, like you said, whole foods with the walnuts and the chia seeds and all of that.
Whole foods is ideal. If you
Ideal.
need to supplement, there are some Vimergy that I mentioned. They do have a really good supplement.
Okay.
And then when I mentioned the heavy metal detox smoothie that I try to drink every day, that includes dulse, and that's algae, and that's the healthiest algae that there is out there. I've never looked into it regarding the omega-3s, but because of the source, I'm assuming there is some in there as well.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much. It was so educational, and you, I think you covered a lot of the questions there. So it was a great presentation, and thank you, Pari, for putting this together. And that video was just amazing. So if we can get a link to that video, it would be awesome. I can try and send it to some family members who are non-veg. Thank you.
It was nice to see you, Kiran. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And Suma, did you have any question? I saw your hand raised. You're good? Okay. Okay. All right. Yes, Satish, please unmute yourself and ask. And if you could switch on your video, that would be great too.
Yeah. Hi, Lucy. It was really a great source of information. And I have some doubts and questions. Can I go ahead? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, for an athlete, they say that we need to have weight into twice a gram of protein. So how can we fulfill that in a day?
Yeah, so everything we eat has protein. All the fruits and vegetables have protein. And that's the misconception that we need this much protein every day. We are burdening our liver with all the protein we're taking, all the protein powders and all of that. It's a big misconception. It was made up how it started. And unfortunately, it's a hard one we've all been brainwashed. So it's a hard one to understand and grasp the idea that we don't need as much protein as we're told. I included some of, yes, male, female. It's a different ratio, of course, different bodies. But I did include some of my pictures, like hiking and climbing and things like that, because I don't do any extra protein, right? I don't do any animal protein. I don't do any plant-based powders, and I have muscle. I'm built the way I want to be built. Yes, a male needs more mass, right? More muscle, but especially the game changers, the strongest guy in the world is vegan, right?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's included in the game changers. So all these athletes, I mean, they're not maybe they're consuming a little, a lot of soy and a lot of other plant-based products that do have protein, but so muscle is built on glucose. So the fruits, that's the glucose from fruits, dates, that's what builds muscle. Celery juice, those minerals that we get from celery juice, that's how I'm building muscle.
Yeah, like they say, like to repair a muscle, we need protein, right?
That's what they say. Yes.
Yeah, that is what they say. Actually, I'm a certified trainer. Like I'm into fitness. I even got certified in weight management and all. So it is said that we need to have, for an athlete, we need to have weight into twice a gram of protein.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like the doctors, right? They're told you need to have a well-balanced, westernized diet. You need the dairy, you need the red meat. Unfortunately, it's just the way our system is. It's backwards. So
Yeah, but being a vegan, like I mean, to get that much protein, I think we need to take a huge quantity of
but you
that
don't need
because
it.
we
You don't
don't get
need all
lean
that.
protein, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
isolated protein. Yeah. So, what do you suggest, like for a professional, for example, like if there is a bodybuilder, like how much protein he need to take in a day to recover the muscles?
So I've never looked into that for a bodybuilder. I can look
Yeah.
into it. I can send you information.
Okay.
But it would be a lot of complex carbohydrates. I mean, potatoes, because
Yeah, sweet potato.
they have the glucose. That's what's
Yeah.
building muscle. It's the glucose and then the repetition, and then the rest, of course. But yeah, I can definitely send you information on that.
Yeah, but to maintain a lean muscle, I think it doesn't work. What do you say?
I'm sorry.
To maintain a lean muscle, do you think that potatoes help?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, because that is rich in carbs, right? Rather than
The
protein.
good carbs.
Yeah, good carbs.
And the
Yeah.
glucose, because that's most people don't know, like it's not the protein that's building the muscle, it's the glucose. We've been brainwashed with the protein thing.
Yeah. But protein. I mean, protein repair the muscle actually. And they say that, and in 22 protein, like they say that we had totally have like 22 different protein, right? In that 8 essential amino acids that we need. Yeah.
Yeah, which we can get all from plants, right? All 8 amino acids. Have you seen the Game Changers?
Yeah, I'll see the change. Yeah, like game changer.
Yeah, I think you would
I'll
really like
definitely see that. Yeah.
you would like that one.
Yeah. So I'll keep in touch with. I think you have shared the contact, right? I'll
Yeah,
just.
yeah. And I'll look into the bodybuilder information and send you some details.
Yeah, basically, I'm a trainer. Like I train into Kung Fu, Tai Chi, and bodybuilding. Yeah, it
So
was really
the lean bodies, right? You're not looking for yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that would be perfect for the information I'll send you.
I
Yeah.
personally feel like a lack of protein will definitely we feel like a muscle soreness. Like if we don't maintain a protein, though I am a vegetarian,
Mhm.
but like I managed to take protein from plant sources. But like, what do you think about Satan? Uh, I
I
generally be on tofu and Satan. That is the source of protein we get.
yeah, I
What do you
occasionally
think?
I have it occasionally. If I'm out to eat and there are no other options, that's when
Okay.
I'll have tofu, that's when I'll have Satan. Um, Satan has gluten, right?
Okay.
So I try to stay away from gluten when I can. Tofu. So the problem with tofu is that the crops are heavily sprayed with pesticides. Even
Yeah.
organic tofu is still contaminated because there is also cross contamination. So this farmer might be organic, but next door he's not, and there is that cross contamination that happens. So corn, that's for corn and soy, unfortunately, soybeans. So I try to stay away from those. However, right, I'm out, there is nothing else to eat at a restaurant, I'll get tofu once in a while.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And in your view, what is the best source of protein? I mean,
Leafy greens. You
leafy
know,
green?
it's funny. I had a video I created about leafy greens. But I removed it. I was like, maybe no one wants to see this. Leafy greens have the most bioavailable protein known to humans. And
Okay.
also, leafy greens reverse any disease, kidney disease, and all that caused by protein sources. It's
Okay.
not a known fact, but that's the best source.
Yeah,
And
that's a source, but the quantity would be more, right? Like to fulfill the protein. Uh,
not necessarily, because it's so bioavailable. I
okay.
mean, if you have 2 big bowls of leafy greens, and you can add whatever else you want. You can add
Yeah,
grape.
we need to take a big bowls of leafy greens
Well, we
to
should
fulfill
be
the.
having big bowls anyways because of
Yeah.
all the benefits. I don't know if you noticed, but I mentioned leafy greens in many slides for different
Yes. Yes.
reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. This was really a great source of information. You have shared many things. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Satish, for joining us. And by the way, Bhaskar from India, he was at the Hindi ReInvent. He's a fitness trainer as well and a vegan supporter. We probably will connect you to him as well, and maybe we all can work together to kind of share the awareness. Thank you so much, Nandini. And Nandini, please go ahead and close the session.
Thank you, Patriji. Thank you, Lucy, for all your information, for your valuable time. All the research that you have done is going to give a lot of value to all our participants as well as the world. So we are grateful for your time, for your efforts. Thank you, and thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, we have all the details. Please reach out to Lucy and do join her course. You'll get detailed information over there. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. See you tomorrow. And we are looking forward for more collaborations with you, Lucy. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, everyone.